Well. We're back with another review. This time for anime called My Stepmom's Daughter is My Ex. Honestly, this one is very interesting. I gotta admit, because when I originally into this one, when I originally started watching this one, I didn't know what to think about it because I got down watching what was they called Domestic Girlfriend about a year ago, and that was like a dumpster fire, but it was like a dumpster fire you can't stop watching. It's like I watched the whole show, but I didn't even like it. I don't even know I watched it either. But it was either gonna be like that or like this one show called Citrus, which is about two stepsisters liking each other. With it's actually more like Citrus, which is okay, I guess. It's not the best show, but if you ask me, this one's a little bit better than Citrus because it actually is kind of funny. But anyway, let's get down to the episodes or why I like it. Okay, so the main character, his name is like Mizuto, and the stepsister name is Yuzumi. No, not Yuzumi, Yumi. And see, Mizuto, he's kind of like really laid back and apathetic, which is just like interesting because like I was wondering how they're gonna play off his character, if he's gonna be like a simp or something. But the thing is, he's not. Like I said, he's apathetic. That's what makes him good, in my opinion. But it seems like Yumi likes him more than he likes her. At least that's what it appears to be. But maybe they like each other equally. But we're gonna get into that a little later. Okay, so episode one starts out with basically they're getting like they don't get along at all, which is interesting because I was wondering how they're gonna use their like whole relationship dynamics. They don't get along at all, and it turns out that like they used to date. Like so basically, like they used to date like back in middle school for 2 years. That you found out in like episode 3. They actually explained like the time that they dated. So they dated for like 2 years, and then they broke up because apparently they had some differences. But I was wondering, like in episode 1, I was wondering like how they break up because like both of them don't like each other. So it's like who broke up with who, or what was the circumstances of them breaking up. But they go kind of into, they don't go too far into that just yet. But I'm curious about that. So they don't get along, and they kind of have to act like they like each other since they don't want to upset their parents, since their parents are already married together, which is different from Domestic Girlfriend because like they were just like hooking up for the moment, but in this show they already are married. So I thought that was gonna like play into the show a little more as well. But they both enjoy books apparently. I don't know how much that's gonna play into the show, but that's like the only thing they have in common right now. Also, it starts out basically like the biggest problem that starts out in the first episode 1, and it seems like that's gonna be like the running theme or running joke, is that basically like the Yumi wants Mizuto to call her Oni-chan, like she wants to be the older sister, and he's like, no, you gotta call me Oni-chan because he feel like he should be older. And it turns out that she was like born like 30 minutes before him because she was born like 11:04 that day. And then he was born at 11:34 that same day. So it's kind of like she wants to be older, but he doesn't care because he wants to be older because he doesn't want to call her little sister. And so they make a game where they say like, if anybody acts like unnatural with each other, like around their parents or anywhere or just regardless of the parents not around either, like they lose a point and they have to start calling the other one older, like Oni-chan or Oni-chan. So I thought that was kind of funny, but that's not all that happens. Well, they start messing with each other. Well, she starts it first. Like she starts going through like his book collection just randomly, trying to like upset him so that he does something unnatural. And then like he plays around, and he like apologizes to her like sincerely, and she calls him by his last name, which is like against the rules because that's unnatural. So she loses. She has to call him like Oni-chan, which I thought was a little funny as well. And then it comes down to the point where they have to they go to like the same school. Like, well, of course they're the same age, but they also in the same class as well. And that's what throws them off a little bit. And then like she tells everybody at the school that basically he's her little brother. So everybody's like, so these two guys tries to like they try to be friends with him so they can get to her. And then like while they're going to school one day, she just runs up on Mizuto. Yumi runs up on Mizuto and hugs him. Like she just like like wraps her arms around his arm, and then she like say, oh, she has a brother complex, which is like weird because like she's trying to like kill her own image at the school, but hey, she do what she do though. So they back at the house, and then like she tries to mess with him again by basically like she comes out in the bath towel, right? And it's funny because like he's getting like affected by it, but he's trying to figure out a way to get out of the situation. So he actually walks up there and gives him his jacket, give her his jacket to say, oh, you need to cover up and all that. And third, and then somehow something happens. They fall down. He lands on top of her. You know. Then like she says like, oh, you're being unnatural, and he said he doesn't care, and they like almost kiss. So it shows that they still have feelings for each other right there. So anyway, but she seems way more flustered than he is. Like I said, cause he's like more stoic and all that. Like he doesn't really get flustered like that, which is interesting. Which, like I said, which is why I like his character. But then it kind of goes into episode 2. So there's one guy named Kawanami or Kagure. That's his name, I believe. And like basically, he wants to become friends with Yumito. And so Yumito thinks like, oh, he's just trying to be friends with me to get with my sister again. But that don't seem to be a case since I watched episode 3. They don't really seem like that's what his end goal is. It might be, but so far you can't really tell. Either way, that's what's going on right then and there. And then this new girl named Minami Akatsuki, like she tried to be friends with what's her name, Yumi, because it's weird because like she just like steadily, she's like they doing like a physical like for the year, and then she just staring at her chest because like Yumi has like a D cup or something like that, I believe. So what's her name, Akatsuki, are just staring at her chest, and it's just getting awkward. And then they end up becoming friends, and that's kind of where. And then like they go like a rest of the part of the physical, like what's his name, Mizuto, like they're doing like the sit ups part of like the physical exam, and then he does like 3 steps and gives up. Like honestly, that was kind of funny because like he just doesn't care. Like I don't know about Japan, but like I'm pretty sure I don't know if they graded you for the attempt, but that's enough. So I thought that was funny. And what's her name? Yumi, she's going overboard because because she used to be like a big nerd like back in middle school. So she's trying to change her image up. With her changing her image up, she's trying to be better at doing sports, so she blend in more. But she's working too hard, and she actually passes out. And it shows that Mutual is actually looking out for her because like the boys were already done with their tests for outside. He still sticks around to help her out, just to watch out for her. So I thought that was kind of interesting as well. But after that, like Yumi ends up getting a fever since I guess she worked too hard or something like that. She like overexerted herself, so she gets a fever. And then her friend, what's her name, Akatsuki, she comes over. She's like she tries to surprise visitor and all that. And so she makes some food with what's his name, Yuzuto. And after like they make some food for like basically what's her name, Akatsuki, she feeds Yumi, and then like they talk for a bit, and then like she just leaves. And there's what's her name, Yumi, she just basically she pretends to still be sick, like cause like she just stays in bed all day, and she just like asks Yuzuto like to do things for her and all that, just pretend to be sick. And then like that was a thing, which was a little funny, but I kind of seen it coming. But it was alright. And that's kind of how that episode ended. Then it goes to episode 3, where it changes up a little bit. Like in this episode, it shows that what's her name, Yumi had like a big problem with Mizuto, because like she used to like keep a shrine, like well it wasn't a shrine, it was like a box of his stuff, and she used to pray to it, like the stuff that he gave her throughout like their dating. Like she used to actually like worship it or something like that. So she kind of had like a big problem, but and it turns out that she actually takes some of his underwear, and she's like sniffing it, and I'm like, yo, what's going on with this? And then like she's like waiting for like the right opportunity to like give him his underwear back, and then he actually she like tries to sneak into his room when he's asleep, but it turns out that he actually had her bra. And then like so basically she requests like a family meeting like in the middle of the morning, and then like so they have like a family meeting where they both explain themselves why they have each other's underwear, which is it turns out like an accident because like they were both in the dryer. They both seen each other's underwear hanging out of the washing machine, and they slightly opened the door and it fell out. And that's when one of their parents walked in, and then they had to hurry up and hide it. So it turns out that they were both accident. But I believe his story. I don't really believe her story. I think she actually took his underwear because she's kind of I don't know. She's kind of out there. So Yumi's coming home from school one day, and she sees Mizuto with a girl, and she got like black hair with glasses on and all that. So she's like, oh, she's trying to date somebody that looks like the way I used to look. So she's getting all suspicious and all that, like calling, like trying to catch him and all that, like because she comes home one day and she sees like a pair of girl shoes in the doorway. So she like takes pictures of it and see, and then like she tries to confront him about it, and then like he's like I don't know what she's talking about and all this and that. But it turns out that the girl that he was with was actually what's her name, Katsuki in disguise for some reason. I have no idea why she's wearing that disguise, but that's what she's wearing. But it turns out that she wants to marry Mizuto because she wants to be sisters with Yumi. So she's kind of crazy, which I didn't really see coming. I thought that came out of the blue. So Yumi calls up the guy that want to be friends with him in episode 2. What's his name? I can't remember his name right now. But the same guy that he thought was trying to like just get close with him just so he can be friends with, just so he can get after Yumi. Like yeah, he like that friend comes back and then he calls like so Yumi Mizuto calls him up basically so he can like ask him some questions about what's her Katsuki, and then Katsuki like he comes up with a plan for her, but that's where the episode ends. But it ends with Mizuto asking to go on a date with Yumi, and that's how the episode ends. So far, I like where the show's going. I think it's interesting. Like I enjoy it a lot, but at the same time, I'm curious about where the show's going to go with their relationship. But either way, I like it. So that's my review on the show, and I'll catch y'all next time. Take it easy.